Kill me! I'm here! Kill me!
Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of Silence, the 2016 Martin Scorsese film that I am blown away was not up for a whole lot more at the Academy Awards, because I think this movie definitely deserves acclaim on pretty much every level. Martin Scorsese definitely could have been up in the director field, because the guy proves yet again that if you think that he is just, you know, the gangster guy or the violence guy with like movies like Raging Bull or Taxi Driver, that you're completely off base, because this guy can make pretty much any film he wants and tell any kind of story, because this is definitely nothing like the movies that he is most associated with. For those of you that aren't aware of what this movie is about, it stars Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver, and they play a couple of priests that go to Japan to try to track down a priest that was there that has disappeared, that was kind of a mentor to both of them, and at this time frame, being a Christian in Japan was highly illegal and something that you could easily be killed for, and they go there and they spend a great deal of time in hiding and try to find the priest, and then things go from there. And I thought the story was just expertly written. This movie clocks in at nearly 3 hours, and I gotta say, personally, I didn't feel that at all. Like, there was never a moment where I wasn't captivated by what was happening in front of me. I mean, obviously there's the parts at the beginning where the story's kind of getting set up, that you're not necessarily 100% sure what you're in for, that you're kind of questioning where you're at, but once the story gets rolling, I was in hook, line, and sinker, and I thought that the performances in this movie were absolutely unbelievable. Andrew Garfield as the main character was just so good. Like, you could really empathize with what he was going through, and you really everything like told on his face, but he wasn't overly emoting. He was never like melodramatic, but his reactions were to what was happening around him always seemed to be completely like what somebody would probably do in those kinds of situations. He had a full range of emotions. The guy's performance was just amazing. On top of that, you had Adam Driver, who I already mentioned is also in this movie, who I have quickly become a gigantic fan of. I love him as Kylo Ren. I love him in lots of other movies. Like, there's one called This Is Where I Leave You that I think he absolutely steals. I think the guy is an extremely dynamic actor who your eye is completely drawn to, and he is actually fairly understated in this movie, but he plays it to perfection, and I thought he was great. As if you've seen the trailers, Liam Neeson is also in this movie, and he also does a marvelous job, and like is just such a rock in this movie for people to kind of react off of once he enters the frame. And then there's some actors that I didn't know whatsoever. Like, there's sorry if I butchered their name, but Yosuke Kobazuka, he plays Kojiro. Oh man, that guy's performance was just impressive. I really hope that this is just the beginning for him in North American films, or maybe I don't know enough about his career. Maybe he's been over here for years and I just haven't seen any of his movies. But I personally hope to see him in a lot more going forward, and I definitely am interested in checking out some of his back catalog, because man, he is just incredible. He plays a Japanese local that has a very off and on relationship with the Christian faith, and his character is so amazing. I'm gonna try not to give any spoilers here, but basically, your relationship with him as a viewer is really all over the place. He has like a little bit of a lovable scoundrel edge to him, but you also kind of deplore some stuff, and like he's just, he's such a multifaceted character. He's such a fascinating entity in the movie that it is so cool. I can't remember what his name was, but there's the Grand Inquisitor that is in the movie. Oh man, is he great? Like he's just like stoic, but also like um, he's just so intimidating and just great. I thought the performances of this movie were amazing up and down. I mean, the scenery is lush and beautiful and harsh and unforgiving. There's such emotional scenes in this movie that like really get you. There's moments that are really heartbreaking, but also really mundane at the same time. Like which is amazing. Like if you're one of the people, if you're watching as an audience member, so you're affected by what the things that you are seeing, and you can really empathize with the reactions of some of the people in the movie that are extremely big and deservedly so. But you're also surrounded by all these characters that see this as just another day, the completely unremarkable, and that really gets you into the emotion of the time, because that's, I think, is one of the keys to this movie, is that it is this the priest Garfield plays, it's his story, but if you kind of look at it from kind of like a bit of an outsider's perspective, and by that I mean an insider's perspective, because you're looking at the people that are actually the townspeople or the powers that be. If you look at it from their perspective, this is just their task on a Tuesday is to break this guy up, and is just such a interesting story because of that. Because the movie is long enough that it kind of gives you moments of reflection on what is happening, and like gives you the time to kind of contemplate what you think you might do in that situation and what you think is right in that situation. And there is no clear lines, but there's also that can be drawn, but there's also almost everything, it seems like failure. So it's just such an interesting story. I absolutely love this movie. I thought it was honestly, there's really nothing about it I would have changed. And like I said, it was almost 3 hours long, and I was sad when it was over. I could have stayed in that world for a while longer if it had remained as interesting and compelling as it was. So those are my thoughts on Silence. If you've seen the movie, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of it. Please hit that like button. It does huge things for my channel. And basically what it does is it puts me in those recommended things more. It makes it much more likely that it'll be recommended to people, which will make them discover my channel, which means the world to me, because I love talking to people about movies. And speaking of which, if you're one of those people that are new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you stick around and be somebody that I can converse online through my words and my keyboard skills about movies. And other than that, have yourself a nice day.